Good morning and welcome to Elite Weather. My name is Mr. G. I am your meteorologist. Hope you guys are having a great week this week and a great day today. As we wind through the end of the month of August, today is Tuesday, August 30th. We're going to have that weather forecast for the remainder of today as well as your Wednesday and into your Thursday. So we're going to be talking about the tropics, some severe weather, as well as your 3-day weather forecast coming up at the end of this video. But right now, let's jump into our first item, and that is going to be our wonderful city of the day. And our city of the day is going to be Davenport, Iowa. And Davenport is a city on the Mississippi River in eastern Iowa. It is one of the Quad Cities. Yes, and it works at the Frick Art Museum, date from the 15th century to the present. So the beautiful art museum down there you can check out. And nearby are the River Music Experience Performing Arts venue and the Towering Sky Bridge, which is a scary looking bridge. I wouldn't want no part of that bridge. With river views through its glass walls, the Putnam Museum offers regional natural history and science exhibits. That's more my speed right there. It's natural history and science, as well as the Vanderveer Botanical Park with trails, flower gardens, and a duck pond. Just a little bit about the tourism aspects of the city of Davenport down there in Iowa. You are looking at a temperature of 71 degrees right now, but your weather is going to be pretty nice over the next 4 days. We're looking at temperatures around 80 degrees. You're going to get up into the mid 80s as you move in towards your Thursday and your Friday, but a dry week is in store for you guys, so enjoy that, but a little bit of warm weather as well. So that is a look at our city of the day, which is the lovely Davenport, Iowa. Now it's time for your weather today. And in the weather today, we're going to start with the national radar, and we're going to be seeing a lot of rain. We're dealing with a lot of precipitation here through the mid-Atlantic states, portions of Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, and eastern Ohio. So you're dealing with some very heavy rainfall, and a few lightning strikes is in there as well. We got some more showers along the southeastern seaboard and down here across Texas. So Texas and into southeastern New Mexico and portions of Louisiana as well. Far western Louisiana, we're going to be seeing those showers and storms move into your area, and then some more showers off the west coast of Florida. So actually not a whole lot of rainfall across the country as a whole, with the exception of that rainfall there in portions of the northeast, and you're going to be seeing that move through that region this afternoon. And as we take a look at the lightning strikes, we have thunderstorms out there, a few thunderstorms embedded in that rainfall through portions of the northeast and into the mid-Atlantic. Some showers and thunderstorms in Florida, as well as in the deep south and over the state of Texas. And we're seeing the latest lightning strikes. And these lightning strikes are about an hour old. So these update for an hour or less. So every hour you'll see the new strike. So that's where we are, looking at the last 60 minutes at least there, or less. So those lightning strikes, as you can see, very nice out west, no lightning or anything like that going on. No more monsoons for the southwest either right now. So here we are with our watches and hazards. Let me stand over here so I'm not blocking them. And we're going to be looking at a lot of heat out west. So we have a heat advisory through portions of the Pacific Northwest, eastern Washington, Oregon, as well as southern Idaho. We got a heat advisory in place, and our excessive heat warning through eastern Arizona, southeastern California, and southern California. But we have a excessive heat watch there for northern California and the Bay Area. Now the Bay Area is going to be seeing those temperatures in the 90s, but in the Central Valley we have those triple digits, and we're going to be seeing those triple digits across the southwestern deserts as well. Now, here is a look at the temperatures across the western half of the United States where we're going to be seeing that heat. And if you look down here towards the southwest, you see those triple-digit temperatures out there through Arizona and Southern California. So you see Blythe there at 113, 107 there in Phoenix. We are going to be looking at 106 in Vegas and 109 in the beautiful city of Palm Springs, California. And Yuma is going to be 109 as well. So we're seeing that southwestern desert heat, and that's only going to hang on for just another month or so, and then you'll start to see things cool down as we move into our fall season, and through the Central Valley of California as well, through Bakersfield, Merced, Stockton, Sacramento. You guys are seeing those triple digits as well, as you're seeing that 109 in Bakersfield and 106 over there in Fresno. So we're seeing that triple digit heat through the Central Valley, and we're seeing some triple digit regions through Idaho. Southern Idaho, we're seeing some triple digits as well as along the Columbia River there in Washington and Oregon. We're seeing some triple digit heat as well. So that is a look at the heat out west this afternoon. And here we are with our tropical outlook. And our interesting tropics right now, as we might just start to get into a little bit of activity. I'm not anticipating any land strikes from any tropical systems just yet, but we are watching some tropical waves out there right now in some areas of low pressure that is of some interest, but I'm not anticipating any strikes on the U.S. mainland within the next 14 days at this point. And here we are as we take a look. Here's our Atlantic, our tropical Atlantic basin. We have the west coast of Africa here. Here is the Lesser Antilles, and now right up there in the corner is the east coast of the United States. So this is the whole Atlantic basin, and here we are. We have a tropical wave right here, and another tropical wave right there that's coming off the coast of Africa. That guy there is going to be a big one, need to be watched, and we have this tropical wave as well that's coming off the coast of Africa, and we're going to watch this guy develop here because I'm anticipating this becoming a hurricane or a tropical depression here over the next couple of days, and that guy as well. So we might have a couple of tropical systems that we're going to be dealing with. But as we take a look at the this is the western Atlantic. Here we have the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean and the eastern United States coast. And we're going to be watching this guy right here as it comes on out. And this tropical wave is going to be headed on off to the west. And it's going to kind of dissipate a little bit. But I think it's going to pick up steam again and rejuvenate and develop into something later on in the course of the week or by the weekend. Now, as we look at this guy here, look at this guy. This is our second wave that's coming off the coast, and here it is. Here is our wave here, and as it becomes a hurricane, according to the GFS, and this is going to be between September 6th to September 9th, and this guy is going to stay out over the Atlantic there. There's the southeastern United States, the Carolinas, and the state of Florida there. That guy is here. So it's going to affect Bermuda and possibly the far west eastern edges of the Bahamas. So it's going to stay out over the ocean there, but Bermuda is certainly going to be dealing with that hurricane, and that will be Hurricane Danielle if it gets developed and actually comes into fruition. And here we are as we take a look at the southwestern Mexico. This is what's going on off the coast of Mexico. We have this guy right here. So we're going to have this tropical storm, and this is also going to be for September 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd through the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So for the first week of September, we're going to be dealing with a couple of tropical systems off the coast of Mexico here. And this guy right here is very interesting because it's going to hug the Mexican coast right here and the Gulf of California and Baja California. That guy right here could potentially affect the weather over the southwestern U.S. But we're going to have this guy here that's going to move out the shore there. And eventually, now these guys don't exist yet because there's not possible until at least September 1st. So from September 1st, there could be the potential for two tropical systems over on the Pacific side of the West Coast, down off the southwestern coast of Mexico, as we have potentially these two tropical systems, two hurricanes, and that's going to eventually move on off to the west. Here we are as we're taking a look at this first tropical wave. This is our first wave here that's out over the central Atlantic right now. It's got kind of like two pieces, and we have the center of circulation is right about here, and we have this area of convection and another area of convection here. So this is our deformed tropical wave number one. This is our Invest 97L, and that one is going to be and it's looking kind of deformed right now and shearing apart there. So it's not looking too promising at the moment, but it could improve with time and as it moves further to the west. Now here we are with 98W. This is our second tropical wave here that's closer to Africa, that's coming off the coast. This one looks a lot better organized right now, but eventually it's going to move out toward the central Atlantic, and so we're going to be watching this guy further develop there. Looking really good convection going on there, looking very organized as well, and you can see the circulation pattern right about in here. We have our center for circulation, so a lot of our energy is to the north and west there, as we have a little bit of shear, but it's not too bad, so it's able to have really good convection going on right now, and so that one looks a little bit more promising. And as we move down through the here we are as we take a look down through what we're expecting over the next 48 hours with these two guys with the satellite image. And here is our first tropical wave. This is that first one, and it has a 50% chance of further development over the next 48 hours because it's moving out into this region here, and it's going to move off to the north and west there a little bit. So move just to the north of the Lesser Antilles out here, and we're going to be seeing that one kind of get a little bit better organized as it moves off to the northwest. So that one has a 50-50 chance of further development. And we have our second one here that's just coming off the coast of Africa there. That's our really nice looking core of the tropical wave there, and it has a 20% chance of further development over the next 48 hours as this guy moves into our main development region here. So we have our MDR in this region, so we're going to be looking for those tropical systems to develop. So we have two potential tropical storms there over the Atlantic over the next 48 hours. And here we are with the tropical Pacific. Here is the southwestern coast of Mexico, Central America there, and Southern California right here. And we have our next area of tropical development in this region here. This will be our next potential tropical depression or tropical storm here in the Pacific. So that guy is going to be moving off to the north and west, and it will become a tropical storm and or hurricane over the next 5 days there. So that one is looking pretty promising, even though it only has about a 30% chance of further development. That will increase with time there as the conditions are a little bit favorable out in this region of the Pacific. And now let's look at our tropics. So we are looking at a couple of tropicals systems in the Atlantic and a couple potential systems on the Pacific side as well. So things are certainly starting to look quite a bit interesting, but I'm not seeing any signs of anything directly affecting the U.S. mainland at this time, as we've had a lot of frontal boundaries and extratropical systems over the eastern U.S. So a lot of those will act as a barrier to those tropical systems. So the further down into the east and down the east coast, those front and those mid-latitude storm systems can get, and those trailing cold fronts, the further to the east coast they get, they kind of will act as a barrier to those tropical systems and turn those tropical systems to the northeast and carry them on cross toward the North Atlantic. So those extra tropical frontal boundaries along the East Coast are your friend if you're down in Florida or along the southeastern seaboard there. Those are your friends. Now, they can be a problem if we get something that develops in the Gulf of Mexico or the lower Gulf of Mexico, because one of those fronts dropping down across the southern Gulf Coast there can actually pick up that tropical system and turn it towards Florida as it pulls it off toward the northeast there, so they could affect Florida coming from the west coast from the Gulf of Mexico. But I don't see any development right now in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, here we are as we talk about your severe weather, and our only area of severe weather, as we can see, is going to be across portions of the northeast this afternoon, where we have a marginal risk for some severe thunderstorms, and we see that line of thunderstorms that we're going to be seeing develop this afternoon and into tonight, and that's going to be, this is the next 60 hours of time here, and there's that line of storms again, as you see it, moving on off to the north and east there, so we're going to be seeing that line of showers and thunderstorms, and there is the potential for some isolated severe, and of course that main threat is going to be some gusty winds and heavy rain. As those storms advance to the east, you're going to be seeing those gusty winds out ahead of those storms. I'm not expecting tornadoes or any appreciable hail. You might see some pea-sized hail briefly with some of these storms, but for the most part, that's all that I'm expecting as far as severe weather categories or severe weather phenomena is heavy rain and some gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour. And here we are as we take a look at the national view of all the thunderstorms and rainfall that we're going to be seeing out there this afternoon through the next 60 hours. So we're going to be seeing those showers and storms down here across the state of Texas, and then that frontal boundary up there across the northeast. So for the most part, we're going to be seeing dry weather across the country for the most part, with a couple of spots that could be seeing a little bit of trouble and some heavy rainfall possible. And we can see a few chances of showers and storms there through the central plain states as well as we head into your Wednesday and Thursday. So that's a look at that map, and here we are as we take a look at the overall upper air pattern. This is our 500 millibar, and this is going to be our upper air pattern, and we're seeing a little bit of troughing there in the East Coast. We're seeing that energy as that storm system, as that frontal boundary kind of takes on a kind of a neutral tilt. So we're going to be seeing those showers and storms there. You can see that energy and takes on that negative tilt as it turns the base of that trough. You see that curve out as it bows out there as that storm system drops down from out of Canada, from the Great Lakes and the upper Mississippi Valley. That guy is going to slide on in toward the northeast there over the next couple of days. And here are with our high pressure over the west. We're seeing our big ridge there that's going to keep that heat in place across the Pacific Northwest and the high plains. Here we are as we take a look at our severe weather outlook, and we have our marginal risk of severe weather through the northeast this afternoon. And again, our primary threat is going to be heavy rain and some gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour and very small hail, some pea-sized hail, and it's going to be very little of that, if that. So heavy rain is what we're going to be looking out for today, and no severe weather to worry about tomorrow, and no severe weather to worry about for your Wednesday. So we're going to see things across the nation actually quiet down for a bit. So we're only going to see any kind of precipitation across the Gulf Coast, far southeast, and across the state of Texas and portions of the southern deserts across Arizona and southern New Mexico. But for the most part, dry weather across a major portion, about 3/4 of the nation, is going to see dry weather through your Wednesday. So that is a look at your severe weather outlook. Now here's your weather forecast for the next 3 days. And as we take a look at this map, we're going to be seeing those showers and thunderstorms this afternoon across Texas and the Gulf Coast. portions of the southeast, and our severe weather there in the northeast, as we're seeing our frontal boundary move through this afternoon, and we have a nice little triple point. So it's just enough of a setup to generate that marginal risk of severe weather this afternoon. So the northeast is going to be seeing some thunderstorms, dry weather across the northwest, the Great Lakes, and the Pacific, in the northern plains of Minnesota, and the high plains there of the Dakotas, and over toward the northern Rockies and the Pacific Northwest. We're going to be seeing the dry weather, but it's going to be hot across the west coast as we have that strong ridge of high pressure in place today. So we're going to be seeing that heat from the Pacific Northwest all the way down to the desert Southwest, and that's going to be that triple-digit heat from Oregon all the way down to Southern California and Arizona today. And then tomorrow we're going to be seeing much of the same heavy rain across southern Texas here and portions of New Mexico. Could lead to a little bit of flash flooding across southwestern Texas near San Angelo and south of San Antonio. But we're going to be seeing more showers and storms along the southeast and the Gulf Coast as well as the state of Florida. Our frontal boundary is going to be in place there, and it is going to be moving there. Hang on a second. Is my map backwards here? Is my map backwards? My map might be backwards. This actually is today's. So we're going to go back. Yeah, it's in the right. Yep, it's wrong. It's wrong. This is not right. It's not right. All right, so this is this afternoon's forecast. I thought that looked off. I thought that looked a little off. I'm like, something don't feel right. All right, so here we go. Here's what we're seeing this afternoon. We're going to have that heavy rain across southwestern Texas and the southern and the Gulf Coast here this afternoon, and the deep south, and the Appalachians, and into the northeast. This is where our severe weather threat is going to be. Heavy rain and some gusty winds down across the state of Florida. Dry weather across the Great Lakes and the upper Mississippi Valley, the northern plains, the northern Rockies, and the Pacific Northwest. It's going to be hot to the west of this frontal boundary here. So we're going to be looking at that heat, triple digits in the Pacific Northwest, all the way down through the state of California and the southwestern deserts, Arizona, and the eastern deserts of California and southern Nevada. We're going to be seeing that temperatures up to 110 degrees. So that is this afternoon's forecast. Now we got to go back to go to tomorrow's forecast. So they're out of order here. So here we are for your Wednesday forecast. Now we're going to see a lot less in the way of rainfall as our front moves a bit further to the south and to the east. So we're going to start to see that severe weather clearing on out of the northeast. Might see a few storms there through Maine and through the interior portions of the northeast for your Wednesday, but it's going to be dry in the mid-Atlantic, and we're going to see a few showers and storms along the southeastern coast of the Carolinas, Florida, and the immediate Gulf Coast, and across the state of Texas and southeastern New Mexico. May see a few showers and storms through portions of Colorado and the high plains as well, but we're going to be seeing dry weather across the northern plains above here, the northern Rockies, the Pacific Northwest, and that heat again for your Wednesday is going to be hot out there across the Pacific Northwest, down the west coast, through the Central Valley of California, that 100 plus degree heat, and across the southern deserts of southwestern Arizona and southeastern California, through the Mojave and the Sonora Desert. We're going to be seeing that triple digit heat in place, and got a little bit of water on it. So a little bit of bloopers on this afternoon's forecast, but that's okay. So we're going to skip this one. Now here we are for your Thursday. So your Thursday forecast, so your Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Got to remember my days here. So we're going to be seeing a little bit of moisture here across the central plains and into the northern plains and upper Mississippi Valley as this next front is in place and is poised to move on to the east. But for your Thursday, it's going to be pretty stationary, but it's going to spawn a few showers through the plains and through the upper Mississippi Valley, but nothing heavy or obscene and no severe weather, just some rain showers scattered about in that region. More showers and thunderstorms across the state of Texas as we have a short wave of low pressure with a trough here. So it's going to be sparking some potentially heavy downpours across the state of Texas and showers along the immediate Gulf Coast through Mississippi and Alabama and into the state of Florida. Southern Georgia can see a few showers as well, and dry weather into the northeast as our front has moved offshore. So that is all that I have for tonight. For right now, guys, that was your 3-day weather forecast, and especially a look at the tropics and a look at the severe weather potential, which is virtually non-existent after today. Going to get a period of quiet weather across the country over the next several days, which is not a bad thing. We can use a break from the excitement, but we can still see a few rain across the far southern tier of the nation along the Gulf Coast and some portions of Texas where they need the rain, but they don't need it to come so fast and heavy. So that's all I have for now, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow in the next video, tomorrow afternoon, of course. My name is Mr. G. This is Elite Weather. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.